I think that experience with the fans, especially, they will help move forward with the experiences that I've had over there. So I love them, and I appreciate everything that they've done for me.
Just around the corner. Are you ready? Are you pumped up?
Yeah. Especially, I think these last couple days has hit me pretty good with all the guys that are going to the KBO. You know, they all got there, you know, either to Korea or to like Jamie's in Vero Beach. I think the last couple days it's really hit me talking to those guys and seeing all the pictures and videos of those guys getting to know their teammates and you know, going on those flights and everything. So I think seeing that has really gotten me more excited to get going here because I know that, you know, I'm not there.
It must be a little bit weird for you to kind of stay home, right? You're right around the corner, right, from your complex?
Yeah, I'm probably, without traffic, I think I can probably make it in maybe 3.5 minutes. I'm that close. But yeah, it's been weird. Like I said, seeing those videos and stuff. It's exciting to know that that I get to stay home, but it's also a little weird knowing that I'm not going back this year. You know, it was 4 years. It was a big part of my life, and it's kind of a little awkward, a little weird kind of feeling these last couple of days, seeing everybody going back over there, especially, you know, like Josh and Brooks and guys that have been there, you know, since I was there.
This is going to be your first spring training, as I'm sure you've been invited to a Major League spring training camp before, but this must feel a little bit different for you because you have a contract.
Yeah, my one and only Major League spring training was actually in 2014.
Okay.
The last year that I was here. So yeah, it's a bit of a different mentality going in this year for sure. You know, still hungry, still want to go in there. I'm still trying to treat it kind of like that last big league camp that I had. You know, still want to go in there and you know, kind of show them, you know, kind of prove that, you know, they made the right decision in signing me and that type of stuff. So those feelings come in a little bit. Try not to put, you know, that much pressure on myself, but I'm trying to treat it kind of similar to, you know, how my mentality was going into 14. But obviously knowing that, you know, it's a much different circumstance. So I'm excited to get going and be able to use spring training to get ready for the season rather than going in trying to, you know, make the team.
Okay. Well, going back a couple of months, you win KBO championship with SK Wyverns. Awesome ending to your KBO career. And then you go home, get married, go on honeymoon, and you get a major league contract. I mean, you can't script it any better than this.
Yeah, especially the hometown team.
Right.
There's 30 teams to choose from, and it's pretty crazy that the one that was the most interested was the one that's right down the street. So to walk you through that week, I wasn't a free agent officially until December 1st, which was the day of my wedding, actually. And my first phone call that morning was to my agent, just to check in on, see what we had. The Diamondbacks had an offer in his mailbox, I guess he said at 7:30 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were coming out firing. So we got married that day. We agreed to what is now the contract on Monday. Had my physical done on Tuesday. And then we were flying out to Mexico, to Cabo on Thursday for our honeymoon, and I actually ended up signing the official contract actually at Wildflower. There's a little coffee shop right at the terminal before you go into security at the airport, and that's actually where I ended up signing the deal. And then we hopped on a flight and relaxed in Mexico for a couple days. It was pretty cool.
Were you pinching yourself when you were sitting in that cafe signing a major league contract?
Honestly, it sounds kind of weird, but it wasn't really everything I thought it was going to be. I think it was probably, but I think that was probably just because of the circumstances. It was really casual. It was just me and one of the guys from the front office from the Diamondbacks and my wife. Just met him, said hello. He said congratulations, signed the paperwork, shook his hand, and that was kind of it. It was kind of done, and then focused on just enjoying ourselves in Mexico. But yeah, it hit me for a quick minute, I think, going through security of what that means, what I just did. But yeah, that whole weekend was a good time to kind of just decompress from the season, like you said, winning the championship, and reflecting on my memories over in Korea, and then kind of just looking forward to what's coming.
Did you hear from any of your SK teammates congratulating you on your wedding and your contract?
Oh yeah, most of them. A lot of them. We've got a couple group texts with a couple different areas of the team. So I got a good amount of love from those guys. It was pretty cool. And my translator actually, I flew. My translator and his girlfriend ended up coming out for the wedding, so they were actually at the wedding, which was really cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So let's see. I heard an interview with the Diamondback GM. I think his name is Porter. He said that you actually got better while you were in Korea. Is that something that you agree with? And if that is the case, I mean, what are the things that you were able to improve as a pitcher while you were pitching for SK Wyverns and KBO?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that statement. I definitely think that I got better than what I left the States as. I think I'm coming back as a much different pitcher than I was when I left. What I would contribute that to, I've kind of been asked that question a lot since I've been back. And I the thing I keep coming back to is just being in a different culture and being in a place that speaks a different language and views not only baseball but just things in general very differently than the way my mind might process things. I think that has to do a lot with development over there, is you kind of have to be your own voice a lot of the times. So instead of somebody telling me that what position I might need to be in, maybe I felt that instead. Okay. And I was able to carry momentum through feeling things and being able to work through things rather than having that constant voice in my ear. People ask me about the velocity as well, and I would say probably that's the same correlation. I would say is that and they're good hitters, man. The KBO has some really, really good offensive teams, and if you don't adjust or if you don't try to make changes, they're going to hurt you. And I think that probably has a big part of it as well.
Who helped you the most, whether it's in baseball or life in general in Incheon?
In Korea? There's a lot of people, man. The Korean culture in general is very, it takes a village to raise a child type mentality. So there was honestly a lot of people that helped me along the way. I'm not sure if I could pinpoint, one person that I think helped me the most. There was a couple very influential people while I was over there that, made my experience what it was.
Okay. I hope you don't come back to KBO. Finish out as a major league pitcher. Maybe one day you could come back as a tourist, maybe. But I hope you have a good career with the D-backs. But now that you're over there, you can tell me now who are some of the hitters that gave you headaches and so much trouble? Can you give me some names now?
Yeah, I mean, I could have given them to you while I was over there too. I think if you look at the numbers probably speak for themselves. And I appreciate, first of all, thank you for saying that you hope that I finish my career out over here and that I don't have to explore other options. But if that were if that were the situation that I was in, you know, obviously I would come back over there in a heartbeat. I had a great time. Let's see, the hitters that jump out to me right away. Chae Hyung-woo from Kia.
Okay.
He always seemed to, I feel like he crushed me. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but in 17 especially, there were those couple of really bad games that I had against Kia, and he was a big part of why those games weren't very fun. Chae Hyung-woo, obviously, it was awesome facing Lee Seung-yup while he was still playing. Na Sung-bum definitely jumps out to me. Lee Dae-ho, I honestly think if you look at the numbers, I think I fared pretty well against him. I think he might have a couple homers off me, but he was obviously a presence anytime he came up, especially when you played in Busan and Sajik was, you know, going crazy. But those are probably the guys that, just as I think about it right now, that jump out to me the most.
Okay. What are you gonna miss most about being in Korea?
But honestly, everything, man. I mean, I love the food. Food was awesome. My teammates, I'll probably say my teammates. And just being around the field and being around those guys every day, I would probably say that would probably be what I miss the most. That and Korean barbecue is probably a close second.
Right. How important was it for you to close out your KBO career for now with the championship?
Well, it was, it was kind of ironic, the fact that after, 2017, I'm sure as the media over there knows that, there was some discussion about me trying to leave and come back after the 2017 season. So I feel like I feel like it was, at first I was frustrated. And then, when I got to camp and started in the beginning of the season and started to see how good that we were and how good that we could be, it kind of started hitting me then that, we have a real chance at winning this thing. I think is when, I started really thinking about it, that, if this were my last year in Korea, that obviously I would want to win it. If we're going to be there and this is going to be the last year, why not win it? Especially while Trey had told us that, it was his last year there for sure. So I know it meant a lot to him, and I know the team really was happy to get a championship while he was there.
Well, Trey's with Miami Marlins. You're gonna get to see him at least a couple of times a year. How weird is that going to be, reuniting with him?
Not weird. I think it'll be fun. We spoke about that because he kind of had an idea of where he might be, towards the end of the year, or at least that he knew that he'd be back in the States. So we kind of worked out a deal that, whenever we're in Miami or whenever he's in Arizona, basically who's ever home hosts. So, we'll be going out to dinner. So when he comes here, I'll show him a good time. And when I go out to Miami, I'm sure him and Marie will take me out and we'll reconnect. It should be fun.
Okay. Well, congratulations on your wedding and your new contract. And one last thing to SK fans, they're going to miss you. But at the same time, I know that they'll be rooting for you as you start on your whole new, challenge in your career with the D-backs. What can you say to Waivers fans one last time?
Just that I miss you guys. That I appreciate everything, all of the support, all 4 years. I know there were a couple times in the first couple years that when the whole Kelly Cry thing was going on, that might have been questioning. But yeah, I can't describe how much that they mean to not only me but to my family as well. Anytime that that I brought people over, friends or family, the fans embrace them, just like they would me. The atmosphere in Moonhawk was awesome. It's unlike pitching anywhere else. I'm gonna have to get used to pitching over here where it's a little more calm. But I think that experience with the fans, especially, they will help move forward with the experiences that I've had over there. So I love them, and I appreciate everything that they've done for me.